Forgotten Disney Christmas traditions. Disney is known for their elaborate and immersive holiday experiences, but over the years there have been forgotten and defunct holiday traditions. Illuminations Holiday World Showcase has had many shows over the years, starting with Le Carnaval de Lumière, then came New World Fantasy, and in 1984 came Laser Phonic Fantasy. This show saw the introduction of the sphere, for instance, but in 1988 a new show would premiere, Illuminations. Starting 1994, a special Christmas edition of the show would premiere. This would be different, because it wasn't just a tag, it was a full show about 12 minutes long. The show started with a narration by
Good evening, this is Walter Cronkite.
Some soundtracks included The Nutcracker, Joy to the World and Holy Night, but the show's finale had a message with the focus of peace on earth.
Paz en la tierra. Goodwill to men.
And Walter Cronkite said,
And so our holiday wish is that everyone, everywhere, share in the spirit of the season. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
This show would last until 1998, because in 1999, Illuminations 2000 Reflections of Earth began. This show had a focus on the new millennium. Thankfully, the holiday version would come back in 2004, but as a tag to the now renamed Illuminations Reflections of Earth. This tag started right after We Go On, with the narrator telling she wants us to share one last message. Then the song begins. Part of the Walter Cronkite narration still remained until 2014, replaced then with a female voice. Unfortunately, Illuminations would not last forever. On the last day of 2018, the last performance of the holiday tag took place. I was actually there for this show and watched it. It was so cool. It would have been awesome if Disney brought this show back, even with Harmonious or Epcot Forever. The message of peace on earth is something that we need the most in these hard times. Now, the holiday celebrations at Epcot weren't over because there was something else. Lights of Winter. Lights of Winter was a Christmas light display that ran for Epcot's holidays around the world at Walt Disney World, located on the bridge between Future World and World Showcase. It started in 1994 and it consisted of many archways lighted up in colorful lights synchronized with holiday music. But Disneyland Paris also had this show that started in 1993 at Main Street. This version was even more beautiful because it had the castle in the background. Unfortunately, this would also not last forever. At Disneyland Paris, it ended in 2005, and at Epcot, it ended in 2008. This might have been something to do with their locations, since they were installed in highly trafficked areas of the park, but that's just speculation. Did you know that Disneyland Paris also had this super cool Christmas village back in the day? Yeah, it was located in Fantasyland and inside the park, but nowadays there is a simpler version at Disney Village, outside the parks. But speaking of Disney Village, let's go back to Walt Disney World and talk about a nativity scene. Nativity scenes are one of the most important Christmas traditions. They date back to the time of Saint Francis of Assisi. Back then, he realized that people were having difficulties understanding how the nativity looked like. So he decided to create a sort of play to show people how this scene looked like, and then this tradition just spread. Now, Disney's Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village opened on March 22, 1975. It was originally intended to serve a community where people would actually live. It is even stated on this financial report, but this community would later become the Villas Hotel. This story deserves a video of its own. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in that. On the Captain's Tower, what you today might recognize as the Pink Store, there used to be a play that happened every Christmas depicting the Nativity. You can see in this video, which was done by Retro WDW, how it looks like. The show would last until 1994, unfortunately. It would be great seeing this tradition coming back, and also much of the aesthetic of the original village deserves to come back. Going over to Disneyland, did you know that the Matterhorn had a Christmas star? During the 60s, there used to be this star that was added on top of the Matterhorn peak, and at night it had beautiful lights. However, it is believed that it was removed sometimes before the 1970s. Now, we talked about some beloved holiday traditions, but there are others that weren't that popular. That is the case with Luminaria. This was a show at Disney's California Adventure, premiering in 2001. Based on the Christmas tradition of lighting up paper candles, it is used to illuminate midnight church services in indoor chapels or simply on your home on Christmas Eve. However, the show did not take full advantage of this tradition. The show's main gimmick was that you could be in the show, kinda. Disney had this activity center where younglings could create their own Christmas card that would become part of the show thanks to projections on these presents. However, the show had one major problem: smoke. The smog from the fireworks would affect the show's success. According to Yesterland, you were watching the show from within a cloud of thick, acrid smoke, and with the fact that California Adventure was not popular, the show only lasted for that holiday season. I think with the Viva Navidad celebrations, it would be cool seeing a special tag to World of Color with this Luminaria theme. Now, let's move on to one of my favorite Disney Christmas tradition that doesn't exist anymore: the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights. For this one, we'll need to go outside of Disney. Back in 1986, in a town of Little Rock, the story goes that Mr. Osborne was asked by his daughter to decorate their house. The result? More than 1,000 Christmas lights. The display never stopped growing, but by 1993 the display attracted major media attention, resulting in a mass number of people trying to see this display and many traffic jams, of course. The result? They were sued by their neighbors. By 1995, the Arkansas Supreme Court ordered the display to be shut down entirely, but Disney came to the rescue. Walt Disney World project director John Phelan heard about this on the news and thought it would be a good idea to bring it to Walt Disney World. The display would debut at Disney's MGM Studios, now Hollywood Studios, for the 1995 holiday season. Located at the Residential Street part of the backlot too, the lights required the attraction to be closed to allow guests to walk through the streets. The houses of Residential Street would be decorated in hundreds of lights and other classics. However, something came in the way of the show again. By 2004, Disney wanted to open a version of the Disneyland Paris show Moteurs Action, which became Lights Motors Action. This would require the demolition of Residential Street. However, the lights were moved to a more appropriate place to such a huge display: the streets of America. In 2006, the display became dancing. By that I mean that the lights were synchronized to music. This was when I had the opportunity to view such a beautiful display. This is something that's truly special and difficult to represent in photos or video, because it was such a unique and marvelous experience. Unfortunately, Disney was planning a major expansion to Hollywood Studios. This would require the demolition of Streets of America, and so on September of 2015, Disney announced that the upcoming holiday season of 2015 would be the final one for the Osborne lights. The lights would never return to Walt Disney World. Unfortunately, there isn't such a space for this huge display without causing major overcrowding. The Country Bear Jamboree Christmas Special. The Country Bear Jamboree was a 1971 Walt Disney World attraction. Two other versions would open at Disneyland and at Tokyo Disneyland. In 1984, the show would be changed for the holiday season. The songs singing famous holiday music, some costumes and more stuff was changed. New characters like this penguin was added. In 1988 the version would premiere in Tokyo Disneyland and it's still playing on the holidays to this day. This new show was awesome. However, some felt disappointed that the actual Country Bear show was not available because of the holiday seasonal overlay. In 2001, the Disneyland version of the Country Bear Jamboree would close forever and become Winnie the Pooh, right before the new Country Bear movie premiered. In 2006, the Christmas special of the Walt Disney World version would not happen again, but Tokyo Disneyland still does their overlays. Cinderella Castle Dream Lights. Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom looks like the perfect backdrop for a winter wonderland. That's why the Dream Lights first came to the Magic Kingdom in 2007. These were a beautiful displays of lights, but they were not easy to put up. Every year, a crane was necessary to install them. This was so popular that it became a meme with Castle Crane. However, like all things, 2020 came in the way. After the parks reopened, the display has yet to return. While some speculate it might have something to do with cost cutting, I think it might also have something to do with the environment, since those lights probably required a lot of energy. Now, if you want to see cancelled Disney projects that never happened, click the video appearing on your screen right now. Merry Christmas